No.
What's up?
What's up, everybody? I'm Rick,
Darmana.
and welcome to a brand new video in which we're gonna be ranking stuff.
I love this. I love ranking anime characters, anime movies, anime songs, anime everything.
Getting people to scream at us like, "Oh, how dare you!" But we shall see.
Nah.
So now on this channel here, we have a list of anime,
Yes.
101 of them that we're watching, covering, and we finished a few of them, 7
Yes.
to be precise.
So in case you thought this is gonna be a video in which we rank 101 anime, we're not there yet.
No. We'll be ranking the 7
That we've
watched, that we've finished, because we're watching others currently.
Yeah.
But only those that we've finished, we're going to be ranking them using a tier maker list that we've made. So
Whoever invented this site, genius.
So yeah, like without further ado, let's take a look at the list, right?
This is the list.
Yes.
Behold the list. Here.
Yeah. All right, because we're in a little square now.
Yeah.
And so you see, we've had like 5 different levels. So amazing, loved it, liked it, average, disliked it. For those of you who are familiar with like our previous reviews from some of those anime that we've finished, that's the system that we were using before. It's a system based on like, you know, our feelings towards the anime, right?
Yeah.
Rather than like a number. It's a 10 out of 10 or it's a 9 out of 10 or something like that. It's more like, personally, we found it amazing.
Yeah.
We liked it. We didn't like it, etc. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because, of course, you know, liking an anime can be very subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can relate to the story differently. So obviously this is from our point of view.
Yes.
But it is our point of view. So it's one list for the both of us.
For the both
we
of
have
us.
to agree.
We have to agree. And I'm not, we haven't talked about where these are going to rank yet. So.
You know, we haven't. We don't always agree on all aspects of an anime, but I wonder if, like, just like generally speaking, that the anime was good or great or not.
And there's 2 of us, so there's no third vote to break a tie. So I wonder how this is
We'll have to debate.
Yeah, exactly. Convince the other.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll agree on everything. I'm curious to see some of those, especially. Also, you might, for those who are familiar with our 101 anime list, you know that we've grouped some of them together, like Naruto Shippuden counted as one on the list.
Yeah.
But we will be ranking them separately, though.
Right.
So yeah, are you ready?
Are you ready?
I was born ready. Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's
start with
Erased.
So Erased. It's been a while since we watched it, right?
Erased.
Loved it.
We're not ranking it. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
But in terms of like having a discussion first, the mystery, the way it made you guess,
right?
You know, from the beginning, like who's the killer? Oh, by the way, we're gonna be spoiling the hell out of
spoiler
all
alert.
Yeah.
If you see a title here that you haven't watched yet, maybe come back later. Go watch it and then come back to this video.
Or skip ahead in the video. But yeah, the way they make you guess, like who the killer is from the beginning.
I really love the fact that they make you, like, they made me think, like, I was almost sure of the answer, but they made me doubt up until the very end.
Yeah.
That's good writing there, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel cheap also when it's revealed. You don't feel like you were, you know...
Like cheated.
Yeah, like, how
come
come
would
it's
I
this
have
guy?
known?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. No, you had enough, like, kind of hint to know, but not too much that it would be just boring. And like, I knew from the beginning. You kind of knew from the beginning, but again, they made you doubt.
Exactly.
Which, in a way, is even better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of gave it away at the beginning. I would have put it at
Loved it? Yeah, me too.
But why, though? Like, what makes you, you know, short of that amazing level here?
Ooh, okay. I feel like it's very difficult for me to put an anime at the amazing level if it doesn't have a certain level of complexity. Like, this is a great story, but for an anime, for me to be amazing, it has to have like a lot of different elements and to hit all of those elements really well, like characters development, story arc, complexity of like the characters interactions with each other. this story is way more compressed, you know. It's mainly about one event.
It's a short one. It's 12 episodes.
Yes, exactly. Well, not necessarily about how short it is, but it focuses on this one event, right? And so, you know, if you have an anime where like you follow a character throughout a long period of his life, and there's a lot of developments happening, and there's like a larger story arc, and not just the main character, but also the secondary characters, the enemies, right? Or whatever, the antagonists, then I feel that would make an anime be amazing, right? Like more elements, more developed elements, and the shorter anime like this,
it's harder
for them to do that. But that doesn't mean that it's not a great anime, right? That's not what they wanted to do, and I get that. But
yeah, for me, like there has to be that surprise element, right? Like if you come up with something and you execute it, you know, as well as you can, you know, that's great. But amazing, like it kind of somehow has to go even above that, like make me think like, wow, I can't believe what I just watched,
right.
You know. And so it's kind of a way also to protect the amazing tier, right? Like to me, it has to be like really the top of the top.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
it has to have something extra for sure.
Yeah, because if you don't know, the list that we're covering on this channel, like the 101 anime, those are all anime that we've picked because, you know, that they're historically, you know, significant, they're popular, they're, you know, well regarded, and we hadn't watched them, most of them, and some, like, we come into this with a list of anime that are mostly considered to be good to great.
Good or above, exactly.
And so we can't just put everything at the top, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Erased.
Yeah, we're gonna agree here. Loved it. That also means that we're probably not gonna have a lot of things on the bottom of that list.
Yeah, that would be a big disappointment, right?
Yeah.
For a list that we made, selecting animes that we already thought would be good, to have disliked it, it would be like a disappointment, right?
For it to even be average would be a disappointment.
Yeah, pretty much.
And by average, we mean like it was okay.
It was okay.
Neither good nor bad. It was
it was fine that we watched it. Could have done without it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next one.
Bakano. Yeah.
So this is an interesting one.
The first one we finished, I think.
It was. It's true.
So this one has a lot of you know, vibe. You know,
it does.
Unique personality, right? Oozes through this anime. The storyline also very unique in my opinion. Eclectic at point. You can still follow pretty much what's happening.
I feel like while it might be difficult to follow at times, in the end it makes sense. You don't feel like you've lost part of the story because of the way it was told.
Yeah. But if I look back on it, this is a difficult one. Yeah, I'm still. I'm thinking. What are your thoughts?
There is something holding me back for sure. I would say maybe this anime focused so much on the mystery and a lot less on the characters.
And there's a lot of characters.
There's a lot of characters, but I feel like you don't really get to know any of them that much. It's a lot about the story, the events, right? The events in different time periods. And their actions, but it's not really a character story. You know,
there's a lot of great characters, but yeah, you're right that because the time is split between so many of them, some of them are explored way more than others, which is normal. But it felt like, you know, it's supposed to be an ensemble, and so yeah, I don't know. There's also something, you know, in terms of the story that's like not all the way there for me. Like I really enjoyed watching it. I would watch it again. It's a fun ride. I would recommend anyone watch it. But in the end, it wasn't something that I thought about much after watching.
There's definitely also a part of it. It doesn't really make you think about it once it's over. Yeah. So where would you put it?
I would go for liked it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I thought the same. Because I mean, like we said, it's a good anime. It's not like it's not a good anime,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
Okay, Hunter.
Hunter.
Oh, I see here your smile. I'm gonna let you start on this one.
Oh, me? I start? Okay.
Yeah.
Hunter is just an amazing anime, honestly. The complexity of the characters, the relationship between them, the way it really makes you think about all the topics that it touches on, like good versus evil, and is it something like real or it's just something that we perceive. It's very deep in that sense, right? I feel like it presents characters in a way that few anime do.
Yeah.
Not everything is great, but like to such an extent that a lot of the times the fact that it makes you switch who you're rooting for between like the good guys versus the antagonists, that like in one like story arc you could root for someone, like for one character against another, and then the next story arc you will root for the character that you had rooted against before.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Really kind of it messes up with the way you perceive just the world in general, that like everyone can have a point of view. I loved it. I'm not gonna go over everything again, but it's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing.
Okay,
It
so
goes to amazing.
you would put it at amazing.
Yes.
I would say also that this is one of the best anime I've watched. The complexity of the character is top notch. The way it subvert expectation.
Oh, yes.
That's also a big thing about Hunter x Hunter. You think things are gonna go right or left, and they go the other way.
Yes.
Right? You have expectation based on like, oh, this is a shonen battle anime. I've seen those before, and then those are twisted on themselves, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like, is this gonna be a tournament arc? Oh no, we just skip the tournament, right? Like
Right.
it's at all times it just has these twists and turns that like are great. Even the way the Meruem thing ends is like so opposite to what you would think a big arc like that would
exactly.
end. It's
Nothing is the way you would expect it to be.
and it's not subverting it in a way that like you're disappointed. It's subverting it in a way you're like, wow, I didn't think they would do that, and this is even better than what I
Right.
would have expected.
Exactly.
And of course the characters, top notch.
Yeah.
I would also go for amazing. So we have our first
Amazing.
amazing. We're bigger now. Okay, and
Yeah.
Naruto.
Next one, Naruto.
So Naruto,
The first
yeah,
part.
not Shippuden.
Not Shippuden. Okay, so is it your turn? It's your turn. You go.
So, people have, opinions about, I'm gonna bring it up, fillers, right?
Yeah.
Skip it, don't skip it, etc. We've watched the anime, the goal was to watch the anime, and the fillers are part of the anime,
Yeah.
So I'm just prefacing what I'm gonna say with this, we can't ignore them.
Right.
It is part of the anime. We can't just be like, well, the manga doesn't have that. I read the manga, but you didn't read the manga.
Yeah.
You watched the anime.
And this is not a tier list of the manga.
Yeah.
Of the mangas that we've read. It's of the animes that we've watched.
Yeah. And so Naruto does have episode of fillers, which can be grating, to go through.
That's true.
But everything else,
Yeah.
from the beginning to the end of that fight at the Valley of the End is so good. So good.
The ascent, like the acceleration, and then the culmination of that battle is just so well planned. Between the two characters.
Yeah, you see like the trajectory of the characters, how they end up there. It's heartbreaking, but it's a hype, it's exciting moment, and it also leaves you, wanting to see more. Right, once Sasuke and Naruto part ways, but of course, then the fillers embark, and I would say Naruto, and we can't talk about one without really talking about the others. So Naruto, in my opinion, does a great job with background and secondary characters, a bit more than Shippuden does. We'll get to that. Like, Rock Lee has a huge storyline,
Right.
Neji has huge storyline. Everybody is kind of touched upon. Shikamaru, like
Yeah.
the other kids feel important.
All the other characters feel way more important to the story, better developed in general. Yeah. And everybody's actions, I feel, are interconnected, in a way that, I feel kind of it's lost in Naruto Shippuden.
And I would say also the story, great ramp up, right? Still keeping things simple, but with intriguing elements, right? What's this Akatsuki thing about with Itachi and Kizame,
Yeah.
right? Or Orochimaru, where is that going to go? The attack on the leaf, the whole, like, from the beginning of the Chunin exam to the end of the attack on the leaf is so good.
Yeah.
And then they top that with, like, Itachi appearing right after that. Like, it's so, to me, well made. I would say, in my opinion, like the Tsunade, retrieval arc is a bit of like, it stops that escalation, right? And
It's like a detour.
yeah, it's like a detour, right? We were ramping up, and it's like, okay, let's take a little break, right? It's not as exciting as the things that were before and the things that come after, but then we just
Yeah, but I feel like even with that, that has a major impact later on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it doesn't feel like it was
feels needed
unnecessary.
still.
Yeah.
But yeah. So as to where to put it, right? I have conflicted feeling. This is an anime that I've, enjoyed my whole life. I started watching it. I was 15.
The story of your teenage years.
Yeah, exactly. I would put Naruto at loved it.
I'd loved it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So I would actually put, and let me go into Shippuden right now, actually. So I was saying we can't really talk about one without the other. I would put both of them at loved it for different reasons.
Okay.
Right? I feel like there are things definitely that Naruto, like I was saying, does better than Shippuden, like working with those, background characters. Neji is the poster child for this, in my opinion. But there are things that I feel like Shippuden, it goes so deep into the themes, the antagonists and
The
their
antagonists in
backstories.
Shippuden are amazing.
amazing,
Just
yeah.
amazing. Yes.
The fights, scenes like Pain versus Naruto, still one of the, best
The greatest fights.
I've seen in this.
Yeah.
Kakashi versus Obito, like, so
Oh,
good.
yes.
The last Naruto and Sasuke fight is so good. Like, there are so many of them that, like, top tier. There are elements in Shippuden that I liked less.
Yeah.
Kaguya to me is kind of
The Kaguya storyline not so great. The fact that the secondary characters, like you said, way less developed. It almost feels like they're being carried on the shoulders of Naruto. Of Naruto, the first part of the anime, right?
So I still like Rock Lee because I liked him before, but he doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's so little character development when it comes to like the other kids.
But some of them do, like Shikamaru.
Shikamaru does,
Sakura.
Yes.
But the rest are, and even Sakura, the way her story goes, not my favorite, but it goes somewhere at least.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, there's ups and downs. I would say also a big up for me, my boy Uchiha Madara, one of the
your
best,
favorite?
one of the best character in this entire thing, until the end, where to me they kind of robbed him.
Yeah.
So
yes, I feel like the fact that the whole storyline with Madara and then Kaguya doesn't end in such a satisfying way takes a lot from the experience of Naruto Shippuden. Because I feel like it was getting better and better and better up until that point, and then it was a bit of a letdown. The conclusion of that war.
Yeah, it leaves a weird taste,
Yeah.
but things continue after that, right?
Yeah,
That's why
right.
feel
I mean,
like-
then it goes into the Sasuke part, and that's
Yeah.
also amazing. Like it's way better, but still, like to have such a drop like right before the end, it's not a great experience.
Yeah. So my opinion would be to put them both at loved it.
Yeah.
You were saying amazing for
Well, I was saying
Naruto.
amazing for Naruto. Yeah.
And Shippuden.
Shippuden. No, I agree because of the reasons that I've just mentioned. Shippuden would be loved it. Yeah. I would have put Naruto at amazing. Maybe I wasn't too convinced, so I can be convinced here. If you think it's loved it, then
Well, to me, like we said at the beginning, right, we're ranking the anime, right?
Yeah.
The anime includes the fillers. There's a lot
yeah,
of them.
that's true. That's true.
That's one tick in the
There's
box.
a lot of them, and like the Naruto fillers are really not, in general, not great.
Yeah, there's not. There's a few that have like great ideas, but
Yeah.
like execution is often lacking.
They feel a lot of them feel very repetitive.
Yes.
That's a big issue with fillers.
Yeah, I mean, I can be convinced, right? It's
You can? Okay, so we're both actually like in between.
no, but I gave my my spiel about the fillers. You can give yours also.
Oh
Like,
no, I don't.
yeah.
There's no defense for that. I don't have one.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would go loved it.
yeah, I agree.
Okay. Loved it for both. The most recent addition here, the thing we finished just this week.
Yeah.
No game, no life. So
So
here we're not including the movie, but
yeah,
you know, we really enjoyed the movie. It was great. If the movie wasn't there, I would probably put it at amazing. But we're not talking about that movie. We're talking about the anime.
you put it at amazing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Okay, interesting. The anime though, I feel like it's a very interesting story. Love the characters. It's quite peculiar at times, and I don't know if that's always a plus for me.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm not saying peculiar in a good way, not always. At least.
Is it the itchiness of it that is turning you off here? You know,
A
the
little bit. It and not because like I don't mind it on principle. It feels
prude,
no,
Anna.
not at all. It just feels sometimes it feels misplaced. It feels out of I want to say out of character because I guess that's how they made the characters, right? But it feels out of nowhere.
You feel like
Sometimes.
it's fan servicey?
A little bit. A little bit. Yeah. I don't understand the necessity of those scenes for the story or for the characters. Like, what does it serve other than to have those scenes there? You know what I mean?
Okay. So where does that leave you?
Now, for the plus, I love the puzzles. I love a good puzzle anime.
The games?
The games. It's brilliant. It's well made. It's well thought out, well planned. It escalates pretty quickly. Like, I thought it would be a way slower, like a slower pace, but like, no, it goes from 0 to 100
Yeah.
in like the first 2 episodes or so. So that's also great. However, to go back to maybe a negative point here, it doesn't stand on its own. It doesn't have an ending.
Yeah, okay.
And they don't seem to want to continue it, so I can't even give it that excuse. Because it's been a few years, right, since this has been out, like 5 years or more?
More than that, almost 10 years.
Almost, oh my god,
it's
yeah.
like 9 years.
Yeah, so
So I'm guessing, I have a feeling where you're going, but where are you going with this?
I don't, like, I'm really, also, visually, it's really beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It is so beautiful. It's so well done. That's tough. That's a tough one. Because the things that I like about it, I really like, you know? So I would put it and loved it. But the fact that it doesn't stand on its own, the fact that it feels forced at times, like some scenes feel, you know, forced, I feel like that's a big minus. That's something that you don't want to see in an anime that you've loved.
Okay. I'm not as, you know, against the itchy as you seem to be here. To me, it's like I've watched countless anime like
Oh,
that. Doesn't
of
make
course.
it always good or bad. It's just it didn't phase me. So like I didn't feel like it was out of place. It's just like, oh, this happens sometimes in anime. The guy trips and then both his hands land where they land.
I guess.
But to me, like this is one of the type of anime that I like the most, which is it's a smart one, smartly
Right.
written.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they get into these games and then they have to win it in an intelligent way. And once they give you the explanation on how they won, like it makes sense.
It makes sense. You can follow the logic.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it doesn't
for
feel
sure.
like it was cheap or it cheated or it
Yeah.
just brings a random element that you had no idea about to explain why you won. No, it's all like so well written that like you think, wow, whoever wrote this, like, you have to be smart, right?
Right.
It's in the
Shows a lot of planning.
yeah, exactly. The level of planning that you see in anime is like Death Note, where you're like, wow, how come
yeah.
he came up with this plan that had another plan inside of it and another plan. Like
Right.
this is how a lot of these games go, right? So I love this. I loved the world that they built. I'm so curious about it now with the different races, how they operate, the politics of it. It's beautiful, the color scheme, the way it's animated, and even the action scenes towards the end, right? The last game that they do, like it's well made.
Yeah.
It gets you excited in terms of like the action itself. I do agree that like you're left at the end with kind of wanting more.
Yeah.
I wish they had just ended with the werebeast thing and not tease something that they'll never go to.
Never go to. Yeah, exactly. That's a big issue.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not just at the very end. It feels like from the beginning they set the scene for something much greater, and it feels like by the end of it we're not anywhere near
that. Yeah,
that
but that's because
point.
they stop adapting the source material,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But even if they had ended there with the werebeast, I feel like it would have still worked more as a, it's the beginning of the story. It's
Right.
these chapters, and we end here. Now it feels like it's these chapters plus a little bit of that other chapter, and now, yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Like compare, for example, with Hunter. We didn't even mention that, but Hunter also
doesn't finish.
Finish, but it feels like it has a finality.
Yeah.
It feels like whatever comes after, you don't need to see it in order to get the conclusion of the story that you've been following so far. And in this case, in No Game No Life, you feel like you really didn't get the whole story.
But here's also my rebuttal to play devil's advocate here. You want to.
Yeah, you do.
You want to know.
But it's a good setup.
That's because it's so well made. You want to know the rest, right? It doesn't leave you like, oh, it's the anime is not over and I don't want to know. Like, you want to know. We even watched the movie because we wanted more, right? I'm inclined to put it. I loved it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would put it. I loved it too. I mean, like I said, it does have some. I feel like if it had continued, I might like if it was the whole story, right? If they kept adapting it, I might even have put it at amazing, assuming that they kept the same
level of quality.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, loved it.
Okay. Here's an interesting addition here.
Yes.
Supernatural, the animation, the anime series. So this one wasn't added because it was, well known or popular or, highly rated.
Yeah.
It was added because we both love Supernatural, the show.
The show, yes.
And
15 seasons of it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't love all 15 seasons, but we love the show.
Yeah.
And so when we heard there was an anime,
we were curious. We had to watch it.
We had to watch it, and we did. But like, I can't say a lot of great things about this, right?
I mean, I think it's a good show for people who are fans
of Supernatural,
the original show. Yes.
But just as kind of this weird thing that like,
exactly.
It's the same but not kind of thing. Exactly. Like,
actually, even more so, if you're a fan of Supernatural, the show, and of anime, then you will like this. It's fun. It's fun to watch. it's not really giving you anything extra. It's not. It's like it almost feels like a crossover. What would it be like if the characters
if in one episode they were in an anime?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't say you would like it because I would put this at average.
Yeah, I would put it at average too, for sure.
Because to me, it brings nothing except from the curiosity of like it's an anime, right?
Yeah.
Because the best episodes are the one where they do exactly the same thing as in the show, but then like, what's the point? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And then the rest, when they do diverge, you're kind of like, but that's not how it happened in the show.
Yeah.
So like it kind of
it feels too different.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I like the art style though.
It is really good looking.
It's good, yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I like the demeanor of the characters. I feel like it's well made.
They kind of got it, yeah.
They got it,
what the characters were about, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's about all I can say.
Yeah, this one is gonna go to average.
Right. Oh, also, if you haven't watched Supernatural, the show, don't watch this.
Yeah,
you're not gonna get anything from it.
Yeah.
It's gonna make no sense.
The Promise, Neverland. Last one here for today.
The Unfulfilled Promise.
The Unfulfilled Promise, yes.
Oh my god, I don't even know what to say about this one.
Let me tell you.
Do tell.
Wasted potential. This is what
potential.
this anime is. Season 1, if it kept going the way season 1 was going, this might have been an amazing conversation.
Yes, for sure. It had the potential to be there.
Season 2 is such a disappointment.
Yeah.
Fumbles the ball, rushes everything,
and you can see it getting worse over time.
Yeah.
It's like in the beginning, it's just like, a little bit like, oh, this is not really the same.
This feels a bit weird.
Really different. Yeah. But like you would expect it, sometimes the second season or the third season are not like at this exactly same level as the first season, especially when the first season is so good.
And the setup was different where they left the farm, exactly. So now
it's different. It's like, okay, we're getting into something new. Let's see where it goes. And then as you're watching, it goes down and down and down and down, and then it crashes.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And that last episode, that has to be one of the
that is
worst
the worst things an anime could have done. I'm sorry, but not only did you not finish the story, but if I then wanted to read the manga, which I still do, I still want to read it because I'm curious. Manga list. Yeah, it's on our manga list, exactly. But you spoiled it for me. It's so annoying. Like now I know how it ends, or at least I have an
idea about it ends because. They showed the very end, but also a bunch of slides. It's a PowerPoint slideshow of big events.
Yes, why?
It's
why
weird.
Would you do that? Why would you put
weird.
It there? Oh.
So to me, the conversation is between average and dislike, really. And the only reason it wouldn't go at dislike is because season 1 is so good.
It's so good, yeah, that's true.
If it was just season 2, it's easy dislike.
Yeah.
But then you have to wonder, does it bring it down enough? That it goes to this.
You know what? I would say yes, because if someone asked me what do I think of this, I would say just don't touch it.
Don't watch it.
Go read the manga.
Or
because
watch season 1 and then go read the manga.
Go read the manga, and then out of curiosity to see what it would look like adapted, you can watch season 1. Because it ruins it for you.
Yeah, I guess if we go from that angle, would I recommend anyone watch this? I would recommend they watch season 1 though. But
maybe, but only in the context of you should read the manga.
Afterward?
Either after or before, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But I feel like the only reason you would watch season 1 because of the way season 2 goes is just if you're curious to see what this manga would look like adapted.
So you would go dislike? I
would go dislike. If there's anything that I could say was a disappointment so far, it was definitely this. And it's sad, I wonder why they chose to do that, honestly. Why did they?
I have no idea. Leave it, unfinished. Yeah. And maybe in 10 years, someone a new studio finishes
or
it.
Or even take a break, take your time to make it the way you want to make it.
Why poison the well?
Right.
That's so weird. Yeah, that season 2 is so trash. I might go dislike too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whew. Okay.
So there you go.
I didn't think we would have one in each category from the very beginning. Yeah, we do.
But something did happen that I thought would happen, which is that, Loved It is probably going to be, crowded. Loved It and Liked It probably going to be crowded.
Yeah, true.
Because, again, we picked stuff that is acclaim,
right,
that we wanted to watch.
That has already has good reviews. Or,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That seemed interesting based on the synopsis.
Yeah, so...
we're probably gonna love or like everything.
Most of them. Chances are, most of those things are gonna go in the first 3 rows.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's what we want.
That's what we want. Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Nothing bad with that. Anime. Why would we be angry that we loved something? So that's why also I was hesitating with some of them. Right? Like, do I put it at like so that there's not enough, so that there's not too much love? But like, no. If I feel like I loved it, I loved it.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's no reason to be sad that there's too many anime that I loved.
Yeah.
So
it can never be too many.
Yeah. So that's it for today. But of course, we will come back to this tier list whenever we finish new animes.
Yeah.
So that doesn't include stuff that we're currently watching.
But when we finish the stuff that we're currently watching,
they'll go on there, right? So, I'm curious to see where we would put something like One Punch Man, or where we would put something like...
I'm most curious about the ongoing ones, like My Hero and Demon Slayer, which we are also watching and reacting to.
Attack on Titan is close to being finished,
True.
Final season part 23 is coming out.
Yeah. And I love the fact that as we're watching the ongoing stuff, it's impossible. In my mind, I'm already kind of thinking where
would this go?
But you can never know until the end, because the end is so important.
Promised Neverland.
So important, yes.
So that was it. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of the list and where you would have put some of these anime. And if you want to watch us react to anime, do more tier lists, or do more stuff, we invite you to
subscribe to this channel. The button is down below.
Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking it if you didn't.
Have a nice day.